What do you mean? What do you mean so fast? Oh, come in, Chris. Why? The lights are not on. Still. How's the time zone? I'm gonna say that. At time. Yeah, it's for other reasons, but you know. Eh, okay. Good day.
Patek
God
Soho
damn.
just resubscribed for 31 months. Welp, that's a lot.
That is a lot indeed. 31 is it yeah. Why now? Why yeah. Why now? I mean, you can go to the gym naked, but that's not gonna be good. I've paid in full. Good job. Congrats. That's really good. But yeah, that is good news. Sturdy, huh? Look on it. Yeah. I mean, isn't it bad in terms of conversion rates right now? I don't know. I don't know enough. Does that work today? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I still haven't fixed the end screen spam battle thing. I should have. I did other things to do. I achieved stuff. Oh, god dang. I achieved so much. Yeah, I don't know where it stands right now. I haven't checked in a while, to be honest. But it seems to go down, at least on 7 days. Did you get bitcoins or something else? You said something also. Sorry. In the month, yes, it's bad. In the year, it's pretty good. So, but yeah, on the month, god damn. As always, you know. Again, reminder, I bought my first one around here. So, you know. Like we had the first bump at like 600 and I was like, damn, that's amazing. And then I sold everything. I sold everything because that amount of flat off, we went from 600 and something when I bought the first, I think, to 200. And I was like, yeah, well, it's never going to go back. And it stayed that flat for like 3 years. And then, if only I had known, I wouldn't be here now. I would have sold around here, to be honest, if I had known. But it's it's fine. It's fine. Maybe. I don't know. We have some news. And it's good for once. I know. That's crazy. But yeah, it's pretty good. So this thing, in the current state of it, like that icon at the bottom, it's pretty good. I've done stuff today and yesterday, and it works. And I'm happy with the fact that it works. It took me the whole day to figure it out. So if you take a look at when the app launches, you will see at the bottom of the screen, specifically right there, something is going to happen where the navigation decides to rotate automatically to the current tab. And now I have this kind of cute, scrollable, swipeable navigations with multiple options. When you release to something, it selects the city, or if you go to search, for example, it triggers the search. But you can also tap. So if I'm here, for example, and I want to go to Japan directly instead of being in Paris, I can just tap in the corner, in the bottom right corner, and it just rotates, goes there. That's pretty cool. However, if I go into the creation of a new place, for example, and I say, well, you know what, I'm going to cancel that, I am still in the place creation at the bottom. That's not exactly what I want to have, but something, and then from here, you can't really tap the tab. You need to have like a bit of a movement, so you need to go back to Japan or wherever you were to go back to the plus to trigger the thing. So that's bad. But, but, still. This is pretty good. It's a pretty interesting navigation. It's not the best navigation ever, like obviously, but it works, which is important. And we have some content on both places for now. I needed that, and it kind of works. So I'm happy with the concept. At the end of the day, I feel like it's not gonna stay there. I think this concept of navigation is going to be scrapped and be replaced by something else. But as of today, because it took me yesterday and today to figure it out, it is there. Stay there for at least today. That's where we are. Pretty good. It's a pretty good concept. Overall, I do like what I achieved. It could be like a navigation similar to Can, where it's just there. You can just tap the things, right? That's an option. I could do that. But because I'm planning to potentially have multiple cities and other things, if you have like more in the wheel, that could be interesting. However, I can't figure out how to put text in there. Again. Yeah. So yeah, text is not an option for now. So we'll see if at some point it's necessary. However, if I'm showing you how it's built, because this is pretty cool. I mean, pretty cool for me, but you know, it happens. Let me see. So this whole thing is extremely complex compared to what it should have been, could have been, might have been. And for the preview, which is around here, what I have done, or what I can do, is if it fucking launch, that's why. I see. My bad. It's here with a very simple scroll navigation, tabs on tap, whatever. Right now it's just cities in Japan for navigating different cities, whatever. I have currently the amount of segments that is set to 32. The initial thing is 12. And if I have 12 with 12 segments visible and segment spacing of 0.3, I'm getting a fully circular wheel at the bottom of the screen that I can just play with and tap on the next one and just navigate through the map with that. This is pretty cool. It's not the best. It's pretty cool. The way that I built this infinite rotation is if the wipeable range is equal to the amount of segments, then it's infinite. If it's one less, it's gonna be like limited. So the number of visible segments, like if I'm putting that at 11, for example, or even I could take and at 12, then have this at like 9. I don't know. I will not be able to go past this way, but I will be able to go to the other side almost fully. Just the last two are not going to be available. So that's pretty cool. It's from myself to have thought about this and said, you know what, it's going to be good if you have like a range of rotation, because at some point you want this thing to have like just 4 or just 5 or just a certain amount to navigate. So that's, I think that's cool. I think you know, again, from a designer point of view, with no code knowledge, still, that's pretty neat. It is pretty neat. So yeah, but it took a while. Today has been a day of Roderick. Hi, welcome. How are you? Today has been a day of this. Bang. Ah, yeah. Hard reset. Not often, but often enough to to go back. And that's like from today. But if you go back up, you know, uh, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Uh, I use this, but for some reason, um, it doesn't. It isn't easier for me to understand. Like the git reset is basically for me going back to this and saying, well, I'm going to reset to this point, but it it just doesn't make any sense. As in revert changes in commit. Wordly speaking, it seems like I'm going to revert the changes in the commit, meaning that I'm not reverting to that commit. I'm reverting the changes, which in my brain I know what it means and I know what it is, but it just doesn't make sense. Whereas this, you see how much I'm using it. It's easier now. Like I get it now. It makes sense. So you know, can that not do that, please? Thank you. But yeah, um, but I don't know what tower is, and I don't know. How it is. Like if you have a link, I would love to take a look at. Like, is it Git Tower Mac? I guess. I guess that's the thing. Yeah, they do have that. The thing is, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want a thing that will be good, that I will have for free for 30 days, and then I will have to pay $60 just to do something that I can do in the terminal with the amount of things I will do to Git. It's just, if I need a new branch, I'm gonna do that through the client. If I need a new project, I'm gonna do that through here, or technically, because it's like an iOS project, most likely, I'm gonna go do that through Xcode, and that is like much better. So free. It looks good though. I'm not gonna lie. The visuals and the way that it's presented, all that makes a lot of sense. I don't think it is for me. I think it's mostly for people that have content and do a lot of Git stuff. Not my case. But Looks better, I agree, but I'm not merging things. I don't have multiple people. It's only me. If I make a mistake, I can only blame myself. Um, so, yeah. I think I just need to learn again, or still, to to do that better. But yeah, that's I mean, yeah, you know. I love warp branding. Like I like their logo a lot, obviously. I like their whole design, the presentations, all the things they have. I think the main reason why people don't like it is because it is terminal level potential with AI that could be uh, uncertain. Knowing how, again, in a chat with Claude 3.7, I'm getting sometimes 6 files edited to just achieve something that I wanted to have, and 1,000 lines of rewriting if I'm asking for something specific and the AI decide to do something creative that I didn't really want it to do, and it's terminal level. I'm kind of skeptical of that. Um, but I love how it looks. Like I can't deny that. I do really good. I love the branding. What they have done makes a lot of sense. But yeah, other than that, I think at the end of the day for me, it's just if the terminal is here and I can have access to it here, I'm gonna use that. Um, one of the things that I wish I could do is um like this interface for cursor, because to me this is much better. But again, extremely biased. The fact that they have still on the Android project on here, the fact that they have like these really cute, it takes more space, I know, but cute dividers, rounded corners, really good looking in like in chat versions of, yeah, we've edited that file specifically and it just added 2 lines and removed one, so you probably have like comment line and a rewriting of the line that has been removed, and that's about it. But all of these looks way better than this. It's the same UI, it's the same interface, it's the same content, but it just has like a tray on the side, which is behind my camera, which you can't see, and you can see the bottom here. That's about it. I think that's not even, you can't even see that. These these icons on the side. And nonetheless, it has the same thing. It has a terminal on the bottom. It's really similar and it works well. I mean, for me. So I'm fine with it. But I wish I could have like a theme that does spray theme in here. But details, stuff, nonetheless. At the end of the day, I don't need much. I just need to figure things out. And sometimes it takes a day. Which I think, again, from a designer point of view and from a dev point of view, which is you, not me, I do think that the complexity I'm building in a day might seems long for me, but it might still be very fast compared to a regular dev that needs to figure out these mathematical things that just cursor and load can just done. Still, it's not good, but you know. It feels interesting, and the other things being the fact that I can fix a bug that seems fully breaking in basically 15 minutes. Um, like last time when I launched for the Android version of Can, and they, and someone sent me a message on the release day saying, "Well, we have a bug right here." Open the things, sent the screenshot, explained the bug, fixed the bug, sent the version, and 20 minutes later, the person that reported the bug said, "Oh yeah, it's fixed now." So that's the thing that I don't know if regular apps can do that. But also, I don't know shit, you know. And JetBrains is the same thing. I think that Warp and JetBrains should kiss and have a kid together, just because the branding of JetBrains and the branding of Warp are really good, and a mix of both would end up with a branding of Linear, which, you know, we like them. So, maybe. um, I want to show you something, though, if I can find it in between the TDs. You can't see that. I mean, you can see the TDs, but you can't see the TDs. This, and this one was pretty good. And then there was another one. Can I find it? I can't find it. That makes a lot of sense. I hate the fact that this is the person that posted it, but it's fine. Threads is really, really slow, and I hate that. That I'm gonna use that as a base. Maybe I'm gonna show you. I don't know. And I think that's gonna be it-ish. Yes. Maybe that. Cool. So this is new. Concept things by this person or OG Tom. I've created this, which is a Vision Pro, Apple Vision Pro app, which creates an infinite library shelf where you can have your shelf and then have your books and then navigate the books that you have and potentially read them on your Vision Pro, which I think is a bad idea for people that like to read books, which is not myself. So I'm fine with that. I don't think reading a book in VR is the most optimal version of it, but nonetheless, the UI and the rendering of how it is pretty good. Obviously, this is the catered, like curated video that has been recorded of potentially the only times where it works perfectly well for that presentation. Nonetheless, it works really good, and I kind of wanted to showcase that because it is an impressive creation. So, you know, just have a go at it, look at it if you're on Threads. If you're not, there is also this thing, which I'm kind of pissed about. But Toolfolio is doing a ton of work on presenting tools, so it makes a lot of sense for them to just showcase tools that are cool, but nonetheless. And they've been saying app used to have a wow factor, and now most of them look the same. And then they say glad that Clean My Mac doesn't follow the cookie cutter approach, which I'm really sad to say they do. Because if you take a look at this interface and you remove the illustration, the app is the exact same as any other fucking app on the market right now. The only thing that changes is the fact that they have this glass illustration and these gradient corners. But most of the app, as soon as you remove the visuals, is extremely boring and very simple. The only thing that changed is the scan button that is outside of the frame. But everything else, if I could pose, I can't pose. Do we have like a show? We don't. God damn it. Yeah. Nonetheless, dang, very much the same UI as everything else. So I don't feel like this is not following the cookie cutter approach. I think it's the same. It's just like, oh, um, I don't think that's an option. Mainly because of how Threads is doing things. But right now, it kind of posed. That's pretty good. Ah, cool. So if I if I just am on not on the page, we good. Anyways, that's perfect. That's exactly where I needed to go. Thank you. Still can't pose, but yeah. So these, right? These are very simple, very boring and basic. They have a big ass title and a subtitle that says waiting. That's about it. And then the thing that stands out is the illustration in the corner. Same thing here. This is just a neat illustration with a title and a subtitle and a progress bar and a neat illustration. It's same thing here and same thing here, and that by the app is same UI and same cookie cutter working layout. I do understand that it's not the same illustration type, but it is still the same content. Like this is very, very boring. You remove the illustration. So other than that, that's the only thing that I wanted to talk about on this one. It is just the same, and kind of sad that they are like making it as if it wasn't. But you know, it is. That's interesting. Why are you doing this? This also popped in my feed, which I think is a concept and not a real thing. I don't know if that person is working at Spotify. It might be like something. What? What? It looks interesting. I'm not going to say that it looks similar to some of the thing that I've built with the rotational selector. However, I feel, and that's an assumption on my side, that this is using SwiftUI phase and not the huge complexity that I built for mine. Because the thing that I built made no sense, still doesn't make any sense, and I shouldn't have done that, but I did anyway. So, you know, that's fine. What I do like about it is this very, very tiny detail for the selection. I feel like this gradual, ridged, graded, thicker thing is pretty cool. It comes, or it has been more and more popular for the past few years, and really much more popular when Apple released the camera button. But it is really cool. I do like it. Wanted to have that showcase this. Dia is happening. If you don't know what Dia is, Dia is the newer browser E thing from Arc, or the brother company that made Arc. They have released the disk image for macOS, so I do have access to the DMG. but I don't have access to the app, because in order to have access to the app, you need to be whitelisted in the email list, which is not the case. But soon, probably. But yeah, that's a potential new thing that could happen, could be interesting. Still, I think it's a bad idea for them to build like a new tool compared to, not compared to, but alongside Arc, because it will make Arc kind of bad. Yeah, that's just touch on that. And then this person released this thing, and I like it a lot. In terms of design, in terms of overall presentation, and how they have like kind of well, defined their view, which, as said, because the app right now for me is kind of non-working in terms of performance, in terms of navigations, in terms of most of the things, this kind of view could happen. I'm not saying that it will, but it could happen. I do personally, but that's also very much me thing. I do love to have the map and the list as two different things on the same view, and specifically that ability to have like the map in a bigger format and just navigate the map, or navigate just the list, and have both at the same time. So I feel like this is really not really new, but kind of new, to an extent. Like, it's still basic, but I like that design. I do still think that the whole thing that they have put at the top shouldn't be at the top. It needs to be thumb accessible. So it needs to be around here. That's just the thing that I would do. But that overall concept of having highlighted places and the list of places could be a better fit for me here, rather than having like map and just having the ability to have like highlighted with maybe two of the free locations and then one of the paid location that is just like one of my favorite, that incentivize the people to just buy the pro tier. I don't know, whatever. But it's could be a thing. Can you use a worker second threads to offload the processing of the map? Probably. I don't know how to do that, but yeah, probably. The thing is, the map itself is heavy. It is heavy. In terms of memory usage and in terms of performance, it's already intensive for or from SwiftUI base. So that's something like, maybe you're gonna be proud of me, I don't know. But if I decide to like quit Xcode, because that's the easiest way for me to get there, and then create a new file or create a new from scratch project that has like nothing, it's just an app, it's called map, that's not gonna fly, but whatever. And then I'm not gonna create a Git repo for that, but it's gonna be there, it's gonna be fine. And here, right, we have the view, we have the thing, it's simple, it works. It's just gonna showcase an icon with the hello world initial thing, which is fine. If it fucking loads, come on. If you place the map for fake, it would speed up the app. Yes. But I don't think it's the... That's not how it's supposed to work. I don't think that this would make sense to have like a fake map. Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. What I'm saying is, if you have this and you get in your VStack, you just get a map. And in order to get a map, you need to import MapKit, which is what they need. And that's it. Like, I have a map that works. And just by having this is pulling 100 to 200 megabytes of like memory usage, and it goes into the high energy impact on the phone already with just the map. So even if, because I want to have navigations, you know, like, it makes more sense. I know basically what you're saying by having like a if nothing happens on here, like while I'm there, instead of giving me as the user the map really and processing the map and all that, we give the user screenshot of the map until something happened, right? Until this starts to do this, and then it's a new screenshot that is taken. It's just applied on top to offload. It could potentially do something, but I feel like this is not as optimized as what Apple default map is. How much faster is it without any marker? It already has no marker at all, and other than mine. So yeah, it's the same. It's the same. But yeah, that's like, that's already pretty intensive. It's kind of sad. I wish it wasn't. But you know. The good thing is it takes 3 seconds to build and have like a full map. Apple has been pretty good with this to make sure that it kind of works. It's the same thing with Android. As soon as I use the Google Maps inside of an Android map, it's working. It's fine. But yeah, I have like I have a build of the app. I have a build of this with MapKit, which is what we have right now, with Google Maps, and with Mapbox. I tried all of them to make sure that the one that was the most efficient was the one that I go for. And the most efficient, sadly, is MapKit, just because it is built in on the iPhone. So, you know, easier to build with. But yeah, like that's the easiest thing to create. It's still kind of not the most smooth experience, but it's just, you know. Eh, anyways. Dang. But yeah, that's a potential. It might be, yeah. Might be. Also, I'm always on beta software on my side, which is really bad, and I shouldn't, you know. But yeah, that's the thing. So I kept this as a design resource because it's pretty good. I kept that in my Figma file as well. Also, hey, I have this. You have seen nothing. They have like I don't have 17. I can't revert to 17. I'm not gonna revert to 17. No. And the app itself is not supposed to be supported by anything under 18.2. So yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, the app is not gonna work or isn't supposed to work on anything under 18.2. So Even if I try to launch on 17, it will say, oh, it's not supported. Also, I have stuff in there that is only 18 features. So, anyways, that is a pretty good presentation of how it is and how it could be. I think it's a me issue. I think it's a me issue and not necessarily an Apple issue, but also an Apple issue at the same time. To an extent, like to have like that amount of resource used, kind of crazy. So yeah, debatable. Yeah, and then this happened from Google. These transitions have been really good. Their new email illustrations have been really good as well. And that whole thing is seemingly very simple. Like when you think about it in terms of stack and play in the interface, this is pretty good. Pretty simple. It's probably something like Three.js or JSAP as a base. But it is an impressive transition, animations, and interaction from the user's point of view. So yeah, I like that a lot. I just don't support that person. So yeah. Here you go. I have a thing in my kind of history-ish. It's been a bit now. I'm mostly on the Japanese stuff right now, which is more important. But I have this right now, which is a project from start to finish with this panel of a map app. So it contains most of the structure that I need to have, and it also teaches most of, if not all, of the content that will end up being kind of usable for what I have already. It has like the map pins, which is already what I have, plus the map cards, which is basically what I have underneath in my list view. But I have like the whole list displayed, but it's basically the same thing. And the only difference from my point of view that they have this title at the top that just for some reason has most of the places, which makes no sense. But that's a me thing. It's fine. So that's a concept thing that they have as a tutorial. It is 9 video long. So that is pretty good. No. The resizing is the issue. Yes. Specifically, the sizing small. Going from big to smaller is what has been creating issues and fully breaking the app and basically crashing the app. So, yeah. Yeah, other than that, like it is not really a thing. Map resizing, I mean. We do have, I think, no, not that. I think the Michelin guide might be something. Like if I'm here, I have the map, which is tiny, but it's just the map is loaded, and I can then click on the map to open the map. But that's about it. If I go into list view, I have the list view. If I go into map view, I have the map view, but I don't have what I have built, which is like basically in between of the map can resize itself. And then if I go in here, I will have the ability to have like a small version of the map. And if I click on it, I have an expanded version of the map, but it's like the easiest way. It is a new instance of the map, bigger, yes, 100%. It's not zooming in. Like, it's not a transition that goes from this point to resize it to go full screen here. Like, that's a new page that slides in with a zoomed in version of a new instance of the map, which means that they have, like, right now in this app, they have 3 or 4 instances of the map itself currently off running. So, yeah. And technically speaking, you need these. You need that Apple Map logo and that legal link at the bottom to be visible at all times in order for it to be accepted by the store rules. So I can't crop it per se. I need this to be visible. I know I can move it around. I could potentially put it at the top and crop it from the bottom. But yeah. Other than that, I think this one is resizing-ish, but it's also Google Maps, right? So it's a tad different, but it's also like kind of it's a different thing. But it is resizing to an extent. Chris, welcome back. So that's a thing. And I think the last one is gonna be Tripsy that does have an almost resizable map. Almost. Like here, the map itself doesn't have the fucking pins. Like, it doesn't have the Apple Map and legal thing. So, yeah, I didn't. I'm gonna need to read that again. Actually, hi. Oh, God. I might need to read that again. How about when you click, you spawn another one on top with the new size, cropped and expand contract. That doesn't work. The expansion and contraction of the map is basically what breaks it. So, annoying. Yeah. It basically the map library is having a bit of a hard time into figuring things out. I think Lighty is kind of different as well. Like, it has the map, but the legal stuff are here, right? And when I'm expanding it, it's on top and it's not necessarily visible. So there is a small amount of potential hiding of these, but it's still like the map itself is still the same size behind it. So it's kind of sad. Kind of sad. I'm working on a very specific app thing potential for myself. Is this thing? And today I did this. is this kind of poor navigation potential, but it doesn't work well yet. Better VH overflow clip, map height 65 VH center. Yes, this could work if I was working in CSS. Not exactly the same, but yes. Again, like the resizing is feasible, as you can probably tell from the non-animation. Is basically once I click it, disable everything on the map, resize its container, and then re-enable everything after. So that's why we have like some sort of a flash during the transition, specifically when I'm coming back from a long time of not using the map. But yeah, that whole thing needs to be like manual clicks and not physical drag like I did in the first version. So yeah, like I mean, there has been so much stuff in there that didn't work and that now work better because I have like tricks and stuff added to the app. So you know. But yeah, other than that, this is a bit of a mess. It will work. I will figure it out. I don't know if this is gonna stay. Like it feels okay, but it's also kind of wrong. So I don't know. Um, yeah, no. I think it might be the translation. I think I agree with you. I think I agree with you in the sense that it doesn't go as it should, and cybersec, hi, welcome in. As it should in my head. Um, so I should just comply and cave on what the map is available and capable of doing right now, and then maybe later figure out a way to make it better. But yeah, there will be a way at some point. It's just like right now. I'm also like kind of at the edge, I would say, maybe kind of I don't need more thinking in that app. The only thing that I need is the content. But because I'm using the app right now to populate the database one by one, it's not automated and it's not like I have a list of I have a list of things, you know, whatever. I needed just to go through and add the content one by one, and then you know, just once I have all of the things in there and the database is up to date and contains everything, I can then potentially just have like the profile page and the bookmark page done, which will replace the current search and plus. So we'll see. We will see. Um, what is this? It's in. I can't read that. Explain yourself. Explain yourself. What do you mean you stumbled upon VLC? As if you didn't know that VLC existed. This is not Stomino. So you're saying that you could potentially integrate VLC directly inside of your project rather than having anything else? So it has most of the oh 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 uh, so it has most of the features that you wanted to have, and yeah, that's a pretty good thing. I mean, it could be a pretty good thing to have. It will limit your ability to like have to build stuff. But then again, you kind of need to have, as you said, have it on web because you kind of want that. I don't think it's a good idea to keep the web. Like, I get it. I get it. But I think, personally speaking, it makes more sense to build a software, which you already have, basically, that is installed on the person devices, and then build a player, which you already have, that is gathering content from the software that is running on the user devices server, and you reach, like, you interact. It's basically a server, you know. I mean, you know how your app work, right? So I feel like it's easier for you and for the user and for everything to just you have the server, you need the server to run the app, and you don't need to be 100% having all the features on the web version. Like the ripping, the whole thing, I don't think isn't your encoding thing faster and better than most of the existing ones? No, I'm wrong. I mean, I would personally would say if native is easier and you could do native macOS, native Windows, native Linux, and be done. Native macOS would imply automatically native iOS as well, because it's the same software, it's the same language. So you basically, as soon as you built the SwiftUI A app or the React Native app that is the container instead of something, you get the iOS for iPhone, iPad, and Mac. That works together. It's the same thing. Like, for example, this one, I didn't do anything, but you can run it on, I mean, I can run it on my Mac, I can run it on my iPad. It looks like shit. Not optimized, but it still runs. So with a bit of optimization, it would be better. Then for Windows, it might be a bit more complex, and for Linux, it might be more complex. There, I have no knowledge, so I can't say. But, you know, like it's Yeah, I don't know. I it it seems it seems it is easier. It would be easier for you to do native and then do TV as native as well. And based on the thing that you want to do, you would do Windows TV, others. Um, be good. And that would be better. I mean, that's better. Debatable. It would be interesting. It would be a pretty good thing overall to have. Um, Same thing. That's wild. That is wild. That is wild. But if the VLC thing is implementable, I I I I think you should implement that. And if it's easier, kinda, to scrap the web version, um, the web client, as you said, and just host that instead, I feel like that would be much better. Like, again, um, like the brain, focus on the words that make sense, not these ones. If you take the regular users, um, and the behaviors specifically for the tool that you are building, the web client is a viewer or a player only, at least in my point of view. It's I need to access the content that I have anywhere in the world, and therefore I have the web clients to do so. But that's it. And right now, you have built the web client in order to control your PC, uh, rip DVDs, organize your libraries and all that. This should be on the server, not on the web client. I said that in the beginning. I think we still have receipts of that. But yeah, like to me, the web client is mostly um, you access the web client to watch things and access your own content, and that's it. And then your server is your server. Is it not already? I mean, if that's the only difference that you have of instead of having to run two instances as in a web client and a server, for your version, you have one thing that can work all together. Um, it, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea. I mean, it's not that I do not care. It's just that it doesn't make sense to rip a DVD from your phone. That like they um that makes no sense. And if you want to create like a new library, of content that you have and pass your own computer and your server and all that from your phone, that's fine. That makes sense. That's okay. But doing things that are necessarily physical, as in ripping a DVD, for example, from your phone makes no sense. Because if you have, let's go back to Legend of Korra disc one we had in the disc bay earlier. You have that, and you, physically, you need to put it in the bay with your hands. And then you can launch the rip from your phone, yeah, whatever. But then you need to put on disc 2, which means that you need to be near the disc bay to be able to take off disc 1 to put back disc 2. So that makes no sense. I mean, who says I'm gonna do the ripper? You've been doing it for the past 2 weeks. So you, you said that. And other than that, creating a new library by navigating your own computer folder route, that's fine. Extracting content from these folders to a new library because you know how your computer is built through your phone, that's fine. But uploading content, that doesn't make any sense. And the more I'm thinking about it right now, like, it would almost be easier, at least from my point of view, to just have the server on your computer running and you just remote desktop from your phone to your PC. And you use your PC through your phone with remote desktop. And you do whatever the fuck you want. You can download stuff, you can buy stuff, add them to your library, do whatever, and have your content. But I don't know. What is the button in question that you're talking about? Because I don't think I know what button you're talking about at all. Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all you need then. You don't need anything else. If that's all that is missing and frustrating, you'd also ask, as always. But you just need a fucking rescan. So I don't know. It again, it feels not optimized and over optimized, and the web client makes sense, but also not entirely. So, I don't think that's a good idea at all. I think the managed UI should stay in management and not be displayed. Like, there is no argument happening right now. I'm just chatting. I mean, I think you should do native, and that would give you the ability to do stuff, but also like it doesn't make any sense. From a product point of view, from a business point of view, if that's the case. Um, yeah, I remote desktop to my mom's computer. That's what has been happening for the past 20 years of my life. I just TeamViewer from the Mac to her PC at the time, but also now from the Mac to the Mac. Um, and I'm doing that. And if it's from my own server, I remote desktop from my phone to my own computer. Um, so that's a thing. But then again, if it's like server permissions or content specific, I do agree that a rescan file could happen and that works. Yes, 100%. It's not really an issue. I'm not against that. I'm against the like the added complexity for no reason. Like for example, with that example, the person that is trying to access the server and says something doesn't work, that person interface should be consumption only because they are not an admin, is what you said. For you as an admin, yes, you can have access to everything. It's going to be more cluttered and more complex, but it doesn't matter. You are the admin, therefore you are the power users of that server. I'm 100% in an agreement with that. It's just that it doesn't make any sense to have physical stuff like the ripping and the extraction, but rescanning the files, essentially adding a new file, that's kind of weird from your phone, but fine if you have downloaded it on your phone for some reason, and then uploading it on your like through the web client to your server, basically. Maybe, but it's not something that the regular user should see. It's something that the admin should see. Yes, we agree. Again, um, I don't know what that would do. But like, if it's an ISO, I don't know how you would use that on a media server. But you know, yeah, there is something that is missing. Um, you can do that, Chris. That's an option. Um, I have never heard Linux ISO downloading, but yeah, as a way of saying it. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's what I said last Monday, Chris. I didn't. I pushed through, and it was much better after. So push through. Um, if you have your download and you want to put it on your server, again, as I said, that's not an issue. But I would rather do an. I, I'm gonna use Plex as a reference because that's what I have, and I'm gonna use one of my previous coworker from 15 years ago because that's what I have as a reference. 15 years ago. Okay, it's been a while. What he had was a Plex server running on an AWS server so that it's always running somewhere. It's an endpoint somewhere. And he had something where he could, from his computer with his like GUI thing, trigger downloads and add the downloads from the server to the server on the AWS machine and not on his machine. So that thing that you just said, if I wanted to have a new like download on my server, I would love to trigger it from the server itself and not to trigger it on my phone to then have to send it, you know? Um, it that makes more sense to me. Um, than downloading in one place and then sending it back to another place. Like trigger and download from the server. That would be way easier, Dave, by the way. Um, way easier. But yeah, like you know that you want something, you know where it is. You have the link for the download or the address. And you put that in the server take care of everything. Download, encoding. Not yet, but like once the download is done, you get a notification on your phone that says this thing has been downloaded and it is currently hosted in the temporary folder called download or something. I don't know whether you want to place it, and then you do that. Or basically, best option, when you say I need to download something, it says where do you want to place it so that it's placed in the right folder directly. It downloads the thing from the server, on the server, through the server, through your computer, which is linked to the internet, and that is triggered from your phone, but not triggered on your phone. Does that make sense? I wish I could just uh, draw stuff on an invisible whiteboard right here. That would be way better. I need a pan of glass right here, and I can draw on it. Something that Maddie is doing. um, yeah, no, not that. But yeah, survival. Hi, welcome on in. How to learn how to build reusable component Figma for basic design system. As soon as you have a component, or as soon as you create a component, it is reusable. That's it. Let me show you. So if you are here, and let's say, for example, I need to build this, and I want this to be a component and be used across multiple files, multiple places, and like it's in the 3 places right now. The way that you do this is in Figma itself, you have the button right here that says, that might say, I don't know, if the tooltip is above, create component. And so you just click on that. Once you have clicked on that, you can click it. Once you have clicked on that, you can see that the border becomes purple instead of being blue. And that means that this is now a component. You can also see that by the icon in the layer list that is or has these 4 diamonds kind of clover thing. That is your component. And then once you need this somewhere else, you just copy paste it. So Control C or Command C, then you just paste it like somewhere around here. I don't know. And that is now an instance. That is an instance of the component, reusable component. So what happens now is that anything that I do on the initial base is gonna happen here. So if I take my finger and change the order of things, it ordered it here properly or with the same thing just by changing it around here. Not there because this one is still not using the component itself. As soon as I put it here, for example, well, technically it should be at the bottom, but whatever. That is then good, and you have your component that is done, and whatever you do on your initial parent component, it's going to be reflected on any of the other components. That's basically how you do it. And so in order to learn is not like there's nothing to be learned per se other than this. Like it's just as soon as you understand how to create one, anything after that is just a duplicate of the component itself. The other thing that you need to know is when you are building said components, buttons, input fields, whatever for your basic system you like it, you will have the ability to create these. And these are your properties that are based on the content of the components. So, for example, here I have a variant for the different type, different size, different states, different icon types right here. So you have like left, right icons, central icons, whatever, but you also have like primary, secondary, tertiary buttons with different colors, different things. These are properties and they are defined through the component itself. Specifically, when you select like an element, you can say that this text content is a specific variable that is a property of that component itself. That's about it. I think, I'm unsure now. I think I have a full video on that. I think I have button design, which is like kind of helping or could help. Address typing is an option. Slots is an option as well. You take a look at. There's a thing on variables if you need that. And I think I have something now. Nonetheless, in some of the initial videos, I think there is like a components / design resources things right there. There is a very, very small 4-minute video from a long time ago now, a year ago, which is roughly giving you like the same thing that I just said, but with a bit more content, a bit more explanation on how it works, what it works, and understanding. But that's yeah, that can help for sure. And there is a ton of others. Again, like this one is specifically on components. There is colors, layouts, variables in the beginning. So I feel like they could help if that's what you're looking for. But yeah, if your questions is going back to what you said, if your question is mostly on what to put in there. There is this design system, which can I type? Design system checklist, which we kind of recommend most of the time, which will give you a good list overall of all the things that you kind of need to have in a design system. Design system being like way bigger than a UI kit, but your core components is going to be what you need. Do you need an accordion? Do you need like an alert box? Do you need images, avatars, buttons? All of that will give you like a bit of an understanding of all the content that you need, and therefore you can have, for example, like the breadcrumbs right here. Does it support icons on your side? It does. You can just check that. Does it have a disabled state? Not yet. You can do that, and once it's done, you can check it. Like really, really simple thing, but that gives you a good understanding of everything that needs to be there and be present in that said design system. This is, again, for massive design system, something that is way more complete than a basic UI kit where you need 3 buttons and 2 inputs. Because that is an option, right? Like I've made many of these. You have the free version of the Mom UI kit. Paid version is there. If you just need something very, very simple, you can use these, and that will give you everything with your buttons, your inputs, your models, and a potential for how to structure something. You also have a range, which is not necessarily useful for you, but dang, could be a thing. I'm seeing that there is a secondary discussion in the chat. But yeah, like that's a very simple and easy way to start. You can just use one of the things that already exist. Obviously, biased toward mine because, I made them. But if you want something like that is a bit different or coming from someone else, the community, you can just type UI kit and you will find a lot, a lot of people that already have
Nonomena Pro 01 is now following.
UI kits, Yeah. Welcome on in. How are you? Who are you? How did you find this room? And also, no name. Welcome on in. Same questions. How are you? Who are you? Thanks a lot for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome on in. But yeah, all of that will give you like the basics and the content. In these UI kits, there is probably something that matches the style that you want to have. As in, uh, maybe you like the Vision Pro thing, Yeah, still broken. I haven't figured. I mean, again, I've been on the fucking travel app for the past 3 months, really 2 months, not even. But yeah, like maybe you like the Vision Pro UI and how it looks and all of that, and you just want to use these. You can see these components are not much. Like just not much. But if that's all you need, and you just needed to see how things are displayed, and your designers or your dev needs to know how these are, that would be enough for a lot of people. So, yeah. Again, there is like a ton of options to get started and to have like a good base for UI kit that then is transferred into something a bit more complete. But potential is something that works as well.
Mom!
Obviously, still biased. but you know, it contains everything. It has the free version. You can use that. I don't think it matched the design of your product specifically, survival. So I know, uh, but yeah. And to lastly answer the question, how to learn? You can do. You come here. You ask question. There's something that you're trying to do and you don't know exactly how to do it. Just ask away, and I'm here to help. There's like so many things that was for today. Potentials. I looked at the details specifically because it is a simple thing to do. And it looks already kind of offsetted weird. So I don't know if we will end up with that done in Figma. Probably not. Probably not. One of the reasons why not is these ridges because they are going from wider to lighter. That's just annoying to build. Um, but you know,
Jeroen Van Wissen just resubscribed for 11 months. Pew pew.
God damn it. God damn it. Welcome on it. Thanks a lot for the resub. Welcome back. Do you want to do the thing? Also, why is the fucking notification on the far other side of the screen? I just noticed that. God damn it. It takes the whole thing. That made no sense. The migraine is killing you? I see. You turned French. That's kind of sad. Sorry about that. Have a good rest of your migraine then. Which kind of answered the question of, do you want to do the review of your website now? I guess no. I guess no. Yeah. Good. Thanks a lot for the resub. Take care of your head. And we'll see you soon. And we'll see you soon. But yeah. Friday you're in Australia. That is true. That is gonna keep the headache. Yeah. That. I mean, you can. It's currently 6 a.m. in Australia, so you can. If you want. But you probably can't. Um, 6 a.m. on tomorrow. Oh, Austria. My bad. Sorry. My dyslexia. Forgot a letter. Um, that, yeah. I mean, take care of your family time and all that. You know, that makes more sense. But yeah, survival, that's basically it on most, if not all, of how to create components. You just press that first button and then you're done. Have a good rest of your week. Take care of your head. Where's the fucking check? There. So yeah, that's a good base. That is a good base. To learn. I guess designsystem.com can also help if you really want to get into it. Is it design systems? And I forgot again. Yes. Yes. It is. There is an S. I forgot the S. That is another really useful website which contains less updated now, but still kind of up to date content, articles, explanation, guides of how to build like a design system and everything. And as well as the list of repository of design system that are customer facing or user facing. So right now, all of these or most of these are Figma files, thing that you can access, and you just click on them, and then you have the ability to take a look at it. How backstage design system has been made for Spotify, and you can duplicate it to your own library and use it as much as you want. I don't know if it is under like a very specific license, but it contains everything that you need with the cards, the buttons, the elements, the whatever you need. And, you know, like that's the easiest way of working with something. If you have like a tool in your head that you know that you like a lot in terms of how the design is, and they have an open design system, something that can be accessed from Figma repo or something, you can just use that. And if carbon is something that you like, pretty good, click on there, duplicate it from Figma to your Figma file, and then use that. Like that's an option, always. So yeah, I didn't know that these bitches, French, were on Figma. Like that, I didn't know. I did not know. God damn. Oh, sorry, I saw things as everything is named in French. So a tile is called a tuile. And yeah. Ugh. Ugh. These French working for the government, being paid nothing. Though, December 5th, 2024 is pretty up to date, if I do say so myself. Ugh. That pisses me off. It's the same thing as the Canadian, you know? Canadian companies needs to have everything in French and in English because these are the two national languages of the countries inside of Canada. And therefore, yes, you can ask questions, obviously. And therefore, everything needs to have two names. And here, because we are in the French design system, anything and everything needs to have uh, a French name. So the rich radio button is not named the rich radio button. It's called the bouton radio riche. Oh. Goddamn. From HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, where should I go next? Many saying JS. I'm thinking PHP. Well, JS is currently widely used. PHP is currently widely used as well. So you kind of go with both. You can go with both. I'd say personally, I'm not a dev, so I can't really give you like a definitive answer. But one of them is mostly used for backend, and the other one is mostly used for front end. So based on what you like more, I would go with that. So if you prefer to do visual stuff, I would go with JavaScript. If you prefer to do backend stuff, I'm gonna go with PHP. Like that, what I have in mind. Basically what Chris is asking. Same thing. Like, what do you want to do? Because if you if you want to become a woodworker, none of that is going to work. But if you want to become a front end designer or front end engineer, then you know. If you want to be full stack, you need to master the foundation. The foundation is the back end. The sad thing about that is once you mastered um, the back end, your skills in front end are inexistent. And if you master the front end, your willingness to become a back end dev is going to be reduced to zero. So both have complexities and both have benefits. And most of the time, from my experience, when you start with the front end, you don't want to do the back end after. When you start with the back end, you don't want to go with front end after, just because it is. Um, I would say if you can have both at the same time, do both at the same time, JavaScript and PHP. But hmm, I feel like the devs in the chat are gonna scream. I I feel like you kind of need to understand the structures of things in order to um, properly build something. And then you need to understand the structure of things in order to visually build something. But there is like a need for foundation, which to me is what I define as the back end, which is the data structure, the architecture of how the website is working, what are the pages that needs to work together, what are the content that is queried here or there to get the right instance of the thing in the right view, whatever. So with that, you can or could have a better and greater understanding if you just go through backend fundamentals in the beginning and then move into something different. I do agree with what Chris and Stony are saying, being JS has the ability to do backend stuff, but most of the devs that I know will do backend with JavaScript at some point and then figure that it's shit and move to something else. It's good for simple apps, but you might need some more competent technologies in order to get your backend to work perfectly. So, yeah. But then you say that you're coming from HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap, which is it is it's more robust. Can't say that. Strong is stronger, and it is easier to break, I think, than PHP, for example. Like you may make more mistakes if you do a Node backend compared to a PHP backend. In terms of my understanding, extremely limited still. You know what I mean? But you may be able to do something in Node that doesn't really work, but still going to compile and be good. Whereas PHP is going to say, well, that's not going to work. Like it's not compiling. It just doesn't go through. So basically, like TypeScript is doing, that type of thing. But again, limited understanding and lack of interest. But yeah, that was a long answer. But roughly, I would say do the thing that you are the most interested in. So if currently you want to be, or if in your head you currently have a good understanding of front end with HTML and CSS, and you want to have something that is a bit more complete with a bit of backend, go for JS so that you have the understanding of how it works for Node and backend with JS, and then front-end enhanced with JavaScript. And then once you have the concept and the understanding, you can move on to something a bit more complex like PHP or C# or other languages. But yeah. But yeah. You don't. In front end, you don't need to learn UI. You will be better if you do, but it's not necessary. And Figma is just a design tool, so that's just the designer tool. What you need to know is basically, like, this is not Figma, obviously. But if I'm here, and for me, for example, I wanted to have something that was curved with a bit of a snap and all of that, I had to build like this thing. And I built that directly inside of Swift rather than doing like Figma first, if that makes sense. So you don't need Figma for front end. You just need to understand how to do good HTML and good CSS, and then you kind of need to do interactivity with JavaScript, but that's about it. Like if I go into my signature animation thingy that we kind of showcased many times, can I zoom in? That's gonna break. This has HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then here, if I start typing, basically just write. That is a combination of JS and CSS. Basically, each of the letters exist as single SVGs, right? One letter by one letter. And that whole thing is pulling the right letter when I'm typing it in its right format. And that's about it. So, you know, can you show me something you've done in HTML and CSS? That's what you said. Give me one. That you want that? It's not that complex. Overall, what is the most complex on this thing is the fucking SVG path. Like each of the fucking SVGs are like one by one defined in the whole thing, and it's just a mess. Just a mess. But it's there. It works. And you know, it's a mix of both. It's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to help give you all of the options to do the transitions. Yeah, but that's fine. Like if you are a dev and you are a dev and you have the skills of a dev, you are not supposed to do the design. You're supposed to do the dev stuff, meaning that you're supposed to have a designer that gives you the design that you need, and then you do that. You transpose the like you transpose the creation of the designer into your skills, because the designer don't have the skills that you do have. Like, you have the skills of coding and the designer doesn't. Therefore, they need to transfer. But yeah, like, again, the potentials, right? Potentials. I build this as a design, and I gave that to my dev, which is myself, and then from that I build this thing, which looks roughly, in the beginning it looked better. Now we have a different navigation, but looks the same way. We had like an option from like a full width uh, map to a retracted map, and a full list that was in the very, very beginning, and a different type of navigation. But now that I kind of worked on that a bit better, I added like more design details and other potentials, transitions and all that. And now it kind of works. Like, it has the content that it needs to have, and it just works. Morton, hi, work on it. How are you? Welcome back. So, if you currently are in the I'm pretty good with HTML, CSS, the natural progression is JavaScript. Like, you don't really have any interactive website without JavaScript. You can, but it's kind of complicated. No, you need to become a master of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript at the same time. A new TTS. TTS as in text to speech, or TTS as in not? Nope. TDs. Something else. Yeah. Yeah, I think what Chris just said is pretty good. Like, do what you think is currently good for you. I do think that JavaScript, based on your skills, or what you have described as your skills of HTML, CSS, JavaScript is just the common path. Just gives you something that would make sense. Do I have this though? We do have this pretty good. So if you are here and you're currently in front end and you want to learn front end, the kind of front end roadmap is usually HTML, CSS, and then from CSS, JavaScript. Bit from there, a bit more complex, and then like it goes deep. But the initial thing is get on the internet, you understand what it is, you already do that. You then go to HTML, then to CSS, then to JavaScript, then to Git, and so on and so forth. based on these roadmaps that exist. JavaScript is the next thing. But if you wanted to be a backend developer, it's kind of the same thing, but it just goes through like this step first, which is pick a language for your backend. And if you want to do JavaScript, you can do that as well. So you can have both. You can learn backend through JavaScript. You can learn through your existing understanding of HTML and CSS from the internet thing to backend through JavaScript. And also survival is right. JavaScript is pretty good right now. Might be like it has so much documentation that you can basically learn everything. But yeah, like these are pretty useful overall. If that's the thing that you want to do, there is plenty. Like right now for me, I'm moving kinda into iOS development, specifically Swift UI, but I'm on Swift at that instant, and I need to understand the architecture. That's where I kind of I lack on every of these, anyways. But you know, like I'm already in Swift UI. God damn, this is complex. Rosonary, hi, welcome back. Come on in. How are you? How have you been? So yeah, these websites are pretty useful. Roadmap.sh is really good for kind of understanding and giving you guidance. Not necessarily the right one, but yeah, it kind of helps you have like a bit of an understanding of what you could do with that roadmap. So yeah, also what Stoney said, really true. Like if you want your front end to do anything, you need JavaScript. So that's why I'm saying, like, if you are currently like a front end E, based on the fact that you only have HTML and CSS and Bootstrap as your base, you want your front end to do some stuff, you go into JavaScript. Therefore, with that, you have better front end plus understanding of how the syntax works for backend potentially later. I would do that. And it's the syntax of JS. Obviously, there are different things. I would, when you will look at this, I know it's annoying. Someone is going to tell you Laravel is good, Vite is good, Vue is better, Svelte is nice, React is pretty cool. Don't listen. I understand. It's tempting. Everyone is going to tell you things. But if you can go through, if you can go through the vanilla, like basic JavaScript understanding, foundational understanding of how it has been built, how it works, and most of the time how it doesn't work, and how you need to fiddle around to make it work. Once you have that understanding, when you move into something like Vue or Svelte or whatever framework that exists, the syntax are going to be a tad bit different, but they still have the same concept, and your understanding of it is going to be easier. So once you have the understanding of JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, you will get the ability to just say, this works in my understanding of JavaScript, vanilla JavaScript, with this is a variable, this is a let, a var, whatever you want to call them, and that makes sense. And then you move to something else, and you still have the same concept of a let, of a var, of const, of something. That will make sense. So, yeah, I would say that. And also, yes, what Chris just said, Alpine is really good for transition to Tailwind. Thinking about it right now, Tailwind could be a good transition from your Bootstrap understanding to Tailwind understanding. Because Tailwind is basically the default right now. It just makes everything much faster in terms of design. Like with Tailwind, you don't need to learn Figma. I mean, you don't need to learn Figma. I'm a designer. I'm telling you, you don't need to learn Figma. But with Tailwind, you will basically never have to learn anything on design unless you want to do something very, 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 very custom, which is usually not the case. But yeah, I'm not. I'm a designer. I'm a veteran designer of 20 years. I just know a lot about code and discussing with other devs, and also making sure that the thing that I'm building are feasible in code. So yeah, it is. Tailwind is really good for designers. Designer for everything. Flyer, web app, an app. I build my own app right there. Yes, like UI UX. But right now I'm building an app, another one. I'm still not a dev, but it works, which is impressive to me. Also, Rossoneri, my brain said, "Good job on the new job, and good luck on the probation period." You know, um, yeah, I have no idea, not a single clue what I did, but it works. And what Chris said is true. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm prompting AIs for things that I needed to do, and then it gives me what I need, and I test it out, and it works. I test it out, and it doesn't work, and I prompt it again. That has been my life for the past few months. But I built the thing, and Stony tried, achieved it to an extent. Like something happened. Um, I did learn some things. Denny, hi, got it. Um, and yeah. Oh, that's broken. Uh, it's going through all the tactics bags. Gonna keep you in the background while I go through leather packs. Ooh, leather is good. Is kind of bad. Good job, Ken. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Yeah. It's again, SwiftUI has been really easy. Leather packs are usually heavier and, for me, uglier. And then if you go into the cheaper versions, you're gonna have like good, bad quality. But yeah, yeah, I'm not there. I'm not. not there. It's just the current state of coding, vibe coding in general, is enough for me to go through like a whole amount of chats. Like all of these are just chats related to this project, and there are some of them that I removed because they were just polluting the AI memory. So some of them don't exist anymore. But with all of that thinking of my designer brain and my personal understanding of how products should work, I have the ability to just prompt it properly to get the right results at times. And when I want to create something that is a bit more complex, it takes me 2 days instead of more than that. So yeah. Rick, welcome back. How have you been? Streaming when I'm in chill mode. Good. Yes. I don't co-work. I can't co-work, Rick. That's a me thing. That is a me thing. It's a me issue. Don't worry about it. If there is a chat room with videos with potential mics, I am not working. I would be distracted by the simplest sound or movement of someone on their camera. I can't work. So yeah. And also, yes, do not, if you know code, do not use AI for coding. I, I, I wish I didn't. But right now, at that instant, I cannot, like, I cannot think without it. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I do have some understanding, and I've been really much watching most, if not all, of the Apple developer videos of how to use like SwiftUI base and all of that. Like most of my, I mean, right now Japanese as well, but last week I was deep in the like the WWDC 21, 23, and 24 to watch basically everything they have made on explaining how like a new thing, like for example, for the multilingual, they have like a new processing power using the Apple Intelligence thing, that is pretty impressive. But you know, I've been just reading and watching all of that to make sure that I have a good understanding of how things work. So my prompting, because that's all I do, is based on knowledge and not based on nothing. So because I have that understanding and I have watched these videos, most of them I have watched them multiple times in their entirety, to basically really grasp the concept, the better it is for me at the end of the day. You can see I have like seen them multiple times. Yeah. What do you mean the A? There? The titties? Um, but yeah. So not a dev, but a lot of dev surface level understanding and knowledge, but not enough to build an app on my own, but enough to build 2 apps, I mean, technically 3, natively on my own. I see. I don't know. Um, yeah. So I don't know if that answered the question. Not that there was a very specific questions, but yeah. um, but yeah, don't rely on AI. I would say that. Um, like if you end up like me and you rely on AI for your code, you're gonna basically lose skills. Like there is a like if you have the knowledge of code, and if you don't have the knowledge of code, and you use AI, someone that doesn't, did I say doesn't? I forgot. Nonetheless, the one that does have the knowledge is gonna regress, and the one that doesn't will progress, but they are gonna meet at the middle. And the one that had like a good understanding before is probably dumber now. The one that didn't is smarter, but not smart enough to go past the midpoint, basically. But there is like a bit of a shift that happens. And my current understanding, and I am currently growing. I have like another example of another person that is a designer as well, that has been using AI for building apps for the past 2 years, roughly. Um, and now he can code on his own, alone, without really much help of AI, just by knowing the syntax, knowing the structure of things. Because when he used AI for the beginning, um, he basically decided to not ask for completion, but ask for what do I need to do? Explain it, give me a snippet of code that doesn't really contain the answer so that I can type it myself, and therefore I will have the thing. Reason why I'm not doing it is because I have strong ass dyslexia, and typing is not my strong suit. So having the AI being able to just spit out the right code, and I can kind of read it and say, well, this makes no sense, or this makes sense. This could be removed. This could be added, and that um pretty good. I don't ask why. Like if you look at here, for example, um, like there is this whole thing of what the AI did. Of we start on that index that makes sense, and then basically initiate the segmented wheel picker in the beginning, but also have like an on appear logic that makes sense to me in my understanding of it. Added like a new tracking state to make sure that it has initially rotated or not. That's a pretty good stuff. Like if the app has loaded, we don't want to restart the app with or to go back to the home screen while rotating. So it's just a true false statement, which is pretty simple. And then all of that kind of doesn't really give me enough to learn, but it gives me enough to say, if I want to learn the segmented wheel picker, for example, I can just go in there and find my segmented wheel picker struct, which is right here, and start kind of scrolling through. And so, well, here we have this thing. We have our initial like properties, then our initializations with everything that we need. Most of the content that will be reused, the logic of the math, which I don't really give a shit about. As long as it works, it works. I don't care. And so on and so forth. So I could read through that and understand it better, but it's not necessary. But for you, if you want to be a dev, don't do that. Highly recommend you to not do what I'm doing because it's bad. I think that the co-working streams that you are hanging on in.
Profit do is now following.
Um, why did I read your name lot, as in a lot? So why is this fucking thing so big? That makes no sense. Oh my god damn, I fucked it up. Welcome on in, Prophet. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Thanks a lot for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome on in. I said that twice again. Stoney, I think the co-working streams that you are hanging in on. God damn it, I can't speak. Hanging out in is because you basically have interactions with the chat. More than co-working. Like you have full-on discussions at times with other people in the chat or with the streamer itself. But yeah, I am. It's right there. Right here. Why? Why are you asking? I don't like specifics. So, I don't like the fact that it, like right now, I would need to mount it on my wall to make it much better and have it in the orientation that I want it to be, but I can't do that. I technically don't care about the prompter itself. I care about having the chat not on my main screen because I can't right now because I'm only having like one screen. This one is a secondary screen that only has chat so that I can just focus on that and not really have to worry about it. Otherwise, I would be on my Mac and have like the chat somewhere and you would see it all the time, which makes no sense to me. So I don't like it. I think what Harris Heller has done, Senpai Gaming, which is basically build like a tiny software for himself that flips the screen off the prompter and just use the screen as a screen. So if I did that, which I don't because I'm on Mac OS, I can't do that. If I did that, if I flipped the screen and used that as a vertical thing on the side of my computer, I would just have my camera above my computer, which I would always be looking at, kind of sometimes looking down and sometimes looking up. And the chat on the side, it would be like kind of everything in one place, which would make way more sense. But yeah. I think at the time before the prompter was a thing, I was looking at we're gonna see titties again on this. There was yeah, if I type that, it's gonna be kind of complicated. There was these things that to me are way more interesting if you're on PC, because you can just have like one of these bands which are very, very tiny. And like you put that on the side of your screen as a vertical monitor, and you have your chat on the side of your screen. That makes way more sense to me than the prompter itself. And there is plenty of them that are different aspect ratio, different sizes, different things. They are usually advertisement monitors and things that are supposed to show ads or bottom of counters types of animations and things. But yeah, like I bought one of them. It came in broke, but like this for me would be amazing. Um, like this is a massive screen, and just placing that on the side of my computer with the chat, great, would help make it much better, you know. But yeah, if you can get one of these, I would highly recommend this rather than the prompter. The prompter is good, not that good. But yeah. And as always, like right now, I'm looking at the chat right here. That's where I'm chatting. But when I'm looking at my Mac, don't pay attention to that. But that's the reason why I have my phone on the side with the chat. So when I'm looking at my computer, I have the chat on the side just in case. I can see if something moves. You can take a peek. But it's on both sides. Not really pay attention to that. But yeah, it's great. It's just expensive. And good job. It will break again, but good job. It's going to be fine. You're going to figure it out. Yeah, like that would be much better. Sorry, I'm not there. Like this is a officially 14-inch screen. So that means that it's kind of wider than a MacBook screen. It's really good. You know, if I could. And if I didn't have the tax, I would get one of these. This is a touchscreen, so that makes no sense, but you know. Well, you haven't explained your issue, so I can't really help there. Okay. And then there is plenty. I don't remember. I think it's Random Frank P that said that. Well, last time you just said it's not detected.
Bad, AOA, bad.
That's it. That's all you said. So, yeah. It's plugged in, but it doesn't, like, detect that you're speaking. Which, again, is annoying. But that, yeah, it's either the USB port that is kind of bad or the mic that is kind of bad. To me, that's all that I have in mind. Yeah. Anyways, Chris, if you have access to one of these where you are, and you can find one of these alternate displays, do that. It could be the gain that is set to 0. Yeah, that's true. You can buy a new mic, use the previous mic that you had. You can try it on a different computer to see if it works. If it works, you sell it to someone and hope for the best. You know? Like, for example, earlier... why am I doing this? Earlier this week, I was configuring the mic here, and it turned out that my meter, my gain, right here, was set to 0. So, so like that was a thing. And if this is running in the background, but not turned on, but running in the background and you don't know, and it's set to 0, yeah, I know you removed it when we did the stream thing, but maybe there is like a latent thing, and that the Wavelength needs to install software to manage your whole thing. So, yeah, no, I know you installed it. I'm saying, again, on Mac. On Mac, the Wavelength is installed, and it installed Amoeba, which is secondary software that is necessary for the Wavelength to work. It's not necessary on Windows, but they might have something that is installed as well that is a secondary software that works in pair, and therefore on your computer there is something that might have been installed and that sometimes is launched on startup, sometimes doesn't, for some reason, which is weird. But yeah, I don't know. It's had it on multiple occasions. God damn it. Not sure it. So, tablets. Good question. I wanted one for UI purposes and UX purposes. Doing sketches on tablet was way more interesting, so that I don't use paper, don't have to have a pen on me all the time, whatever. I bought an iPad Pro. It is the best Netflix machine I have. That's it. So, I don't think a tablet is useful. It's not gonna be good. And it does, I mean, to my knowledge of my use cases, it is currently my library of Japanese learning books. So when I'm going into my classes, I have my books in my iPad. Therefore, I don't need to bring the big ass book that is supposed to be with me. It's just on my iPad, and I can just do that. That's easier. But that's all I'm using it for. I'm not using it for anything. All the stuff that I was supposed to use it for, I don't. And so that, I think one of these tiny screens is going to be better if you want to use them for chat. Make sure that you have one that is like wide enough. Do I have a fucking meters? Yeah. Like the one from the fucking thing is 5 inches. I know you like inches, rather than centimeters. But yeah, it is 5 inches in width, which is pretty good of a distance side to side to ensure that you have like the chat messages. And then in length, it is 6, 7, 7.5. So it's a 7 by 5 screen for the prompter. And if you have something that is like similar in terms of width, like 5 or 7 could be good, would be way cheaper nonetheless, and would plug on your computer as a secondary screen, and you can have more stuff. Like right now, the prompter is technically a secondary screen, but I'm only using it for chat and nothing else. Kind of sad. And then The prompter connects with the USB. The secondary screen that I have, which is underneath, is connected through HDMI. Yeah. Like one of them is for HDMI. Secondary one that I had is just USB-C. So that's the thing. That is a thing. And then if you really wanted to have like a tablet for reasons, because you saying that maybe for some reason you have kids. I don't know why you would have kids, but sometimes you would have kids. Getting an iPad could be an iPad. Tablet in general could be pretty good. I know that Xiaomi just launched a new one. And that specific
Mayakan is now following.
like this alert is pissing me off. Myzikin? Miskin? I don't know how to pronounce her name. Hello, Colin. How are you? Who are you? How did you find the stream? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. I don't know if I know you. But maybe I do. Maybe I do. But yeah, the Xiaomi pads are okay. The Oppo pads are okay. And cheap tablet is gonna be bad. Like a cheap one. It depends. I mean, you can send whispers if you want, but I don't know if I'm gonna take a look at them. Or click on anything. Depends with it. Why? You have something to disclose, you can disclose it in chat. So yeah. Like, what I'm saying is the secondary screen, additional tiny screens is gonna give you an additional tiny screen. Virtual Doodle Box, hi, welcome on it. Welcome back on YouTube. How are you? How have you been? How's your dick going? And so you could have that secondary screen as a secondary screen and use that as a screen and have other things. So if you wanted to have, like, I don't know, YouTube videos in the background, you can just place them on the side and not really think about it. Just have that working and then potentially have like other things, as in the chat while you're streaming, if you're streaming, the preview of your website, you know, things like this. If you know that you're working for something, I don't know, I'm looking at Stony right here. If you know that you're working on something that is like, how can I say that? Brain, a TV. Example, like you're working on something that is a TV, and that TV is a very specific aspect ratio in something. You could just have that on that secondary screen as a preview with a specific like Chrome tab enabled, so that only load the preview of the TV on that tiny screen, so you can just assess if it works. You know, that makes sense. What is your other account? Maisie. Why is that not working? Why? Again. Like sounds? Missy? Missy like sound. I don't know what you mean. Bogo, hi, welcome in. I mean, I need your full name, your full previous name. Otherwise, I'm not gonna remember. I know myself well enough. But that died 2 hours late. But I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I don't think so. Maybe. Both drank a lot of monsters. That is not narrowing the options. And both lived in Japan. Matt. I'm guessing. Unless. That's a very Portuguese / Spanish way of laughing. Damn. Already. I mean, if it's rigged right now, yeah. It's time to drop. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. And Stony, you might make it. Yeah. Oh, you could have. That was so close. Well, rigged. 100%. 100%. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember Missy. You see, you always put a comment, which is nice, appreciate it. I don't know where you are putting a comment though. That's the thing. Do not know. Oh yeah, kids. That makes a lot of sense. Yes. See, that was a lot more efficient to just say that you used to be named Yakins, which now that I'm looking at your name, kinda could make sense, but not entirely. I mean, there is a lot of Z and the K, but yeah. How have you been? You could have started there. It would have been faster. Would have been faster. Why did you change your account? That's going to be the question now. Like, what happened? What created the change? What pushed you to change? But yeah, other than that, going back to the monitor discussion, Chris, wall screens are going to be easier, cheaper. You're probably going to have like a 50 to 70 bucks. I don't know where you are. I know that it's a bit more expensive for important things. I see. Well, good. I mean, it's good that you found a way to get outside of this. Well, $100 then. So you might find like a smaller screen for $100 if you have access to AliExpress and it's fine and the shipping is okay. Do that because it's pretty good. you know? But yeah, highly recommend that more than an iPad tablet. Um, no, they don't. They I did answer. Like this one, the prompter is USB-C. Like it's a USB-C to USB-C port, so that exists. Monitor from a PC underneath is a 4 HDMI to 4 HDMI. You can find some of them that are 4 HDMI. You can find some of them that are micro HDMI to full-size HDMI, and you can find some of them that are USB-C to USB-C. But it depends on what you can find. That's yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, and hi, welcome on in, welcome back. How have you been? Life has been pretty good. I mean, pretty kind of sad. I sadly had to come back from Japan to France, and now I'm in France, and I'm not having a job for the past 2 years, roughly. I've been working for myself, and yeah, you know, other than that, not much, not much. That is broken. Good, appreciate it. I will remember, probably forget. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. But yeah, welcome back. Enjoy dinner. We'll see you soon. Oh. Are you presenting, or are you making the presentation so that someone else is presenting? Molten, again. Appreciate it, thank you. That's a massive face. Yes, you are presenting. Why are you stressed? What are you presenting? Why stressing? I get it. I know why most people are stressing when they are presenting. They are not used to be in front of people and have the position of knowledge. Kinda. I get it. Yeah. I've been vaccinated from presentation. I'm fine. Oh, we can talk about that. That's a fair point. Good job, Watson. If it sound, I mean, it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. I ordered some food. That reminded me of something that happened yesterday. I ordered some food yesterday, and they fucked up my order. They gave me more than I ordered. Yeah, it's a new place. I wanted to test out like some of their stuff. You know, one burger, one fries, one chicken nuggets type of things, and because there was an offer on Uber Eats that is like buy one get one free, so I got like one burger and then a second one for free. That makes sense. But because of that, they kind of doubled everything because they thought I took the fries and the chicken nuggets with the doubled burger. So I ended up with way too much food. It was sad. But yeah. I had like 5 days, and I will present the concept of my keeper, sort of a personal knowledge management summit. Interesting. And it's in English. I see. That is indeed Is it like a potential investment uh, helping firm? Something that there's some people that could help with that, or help you with like the foundation, the structure, um, the hosting. I don't know, the deployment could help, and therefore you kind of need to convince them. If that's the case, I get it. Um, okay, so you're trying to not make it an ad. Um, I'm gonna give you the most boring and generic answers. It's gonna be okay. Be yourself. Yes, no, I'm laughing, but yes, be yourself. Be as authentic as you can be. Explain why you created this thing and why you like it better than the current state of things, as in oxygen. And like uh, basically present the features. Like, I mean, you've seen me. Should plug that in. You've seen me in the past year kind of present. I can go here and show you as the viewers and explain everything about it and talk about it as I'm just talking about the thing that I built and I like it because I built it and I built it because I needed it. And that passion, interest, uh, energy for the thing that I've built, I'm sure you have something similar for Heber. And with that in mind, like that's where the be yourself comes in, where if I'm explaining that now in the quiz we have jokers, and so if you don't really know what you have, you can just buy a joker and it just halven the questions, and then you can know, oh yeah, that's probably Lee. You know, that that's a thing. But that's the type of thing that I can do because I do love the app and what I built. Um, and I can talk about it with love and with interest because it 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 was there is a reason behind the creation. Like I needed this thing to exist at some point to be able to specifically create dictionaries and have myself learn the words of the day-to-day Japanese to make sure that I get it and I understand. And I'm like, um, how do I read this kanji? Have readings underneath, and I'm like, that's miru. I know that. Good, and I can move on. And with that, I'm sure, like, you build Heaper because there was something that was missing on the other tools, or you haven't seen another tool do it with something else. Like maybe you liked tool A and tool C, and tool B had only the thing that tool C had, but didn't have the right stuff. So you decided to take tool A and tool B, combine them a bit, and then take tool C and add the thing that you wanted to add, and then you create a heaper, which is a combination of the thing that you like from other tools. That kind of interest or presentation is always going to win someone over because you are talking from a place of interest and willingness to change existing things. So that um, passion, debatable, but yes, as well. Um, but it's like it's more. It also could be brain is going anywhere somewhere else. It also could have been like uh, a learning project, as in this. I have no learning and no understanding of code. Still build this thing. Still works. Still making me money on a monthly basis. Not much, but still. Um, And it's there because I needed to have like this app, and I liked it, and I learned through it. And now I'm building my second app, which is a travel guide thingy. So, you know, a learning experience from the first app basically told me, you know what? You can build apps. Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, that's an option. And now I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Apparently I can. And I'm trying stuff. And then I have another one that I built that didn't work, and I trashed. So I think if the presentation really shows the fact that you are um, interested, motivated, learning, creating something that seems to be the right direction, most people are not that different from each other. Um, as in, some people have said some things, as in, we have ourselves 8 times in this world. I think this is like a monk thing from Buddhism. I don't remember. It's been a while. That's what my dad used to say. Basically, the saying was there is 8 of you in the world at any time. But from any 8 of you, there is 8 of them as well. So you might find someone that is a perfect match, 100%. This is very much you. But you might find a match that is like 90%. You might find a match that is 50%. And it's a version of you. And that version of you has someone else that is kind of similar. So the deeper that we talked about as the branching from your tool specifically means, in a way, that you as the center of interest has at least 8 people that have exactly the same center of interest and will resonate with what you're trying to build. And then from these 8 people, there is 8 people for each that is also interested, not as much, but interested. So there is like a bit of a ramification of people that have like the same interest. So if you were basically explaining the reason why you decided to build something like that, right? Like the main reason was, in any and all Japanese learning app today, you end up learning things you absolutely don't care about. And that pissed me off. Because as a designer, as someone that is interested in food, when I'm learning Japanese, I need to go through giving direction, learning how to say that your high school years were good or bad. I don't give a shit. I want to learn design terms and things that make sense for my day-to-day use. So I built this. That I have things, and now I can know, well, practicing the design dictionary right now, but I can know that this word specifically, kozu, kozu, is or means the composition. So when I'm going to talk with other designers in Japan and I drop kozu somewhere, they'll be like, God damn, that gaijin that just know 5 words of Japanese know the specific words that we need to use in our terms, in our business. So he probably knows more. That's the point. Larkham, huh? Welcome back. Late. But you know, that interest, that kind of willingness to add something that was missing in the past, I feel like this is what the speech needs to be. I will 100% agree with Stony. If possible, ums and and like and filler words, attempt to not, but you can't do that in like 2 days. So the less you have, uh, the less of them you have, the better it is. And don't hesitate to post. There is something in the speech patterns and the voice and the thing that we have. Also, yes, that works. Where if you make pauses or if you take time to answer questions and you're not like rushing to answer and your flow is kind of chill, all of that, it sends, it's a psychology thing, but it sends a message of knowledge and security that helps. There is a bit. We have seen them in the past. I like them a lot. Vin has been a very good vocal coach and public speaking coach. He's pretty good. And he's been really good for a long time. If I go back to like oldest first, some of the first video that I know of him, I feel like they are older than 2 years ago. I feel like they are mostly not 2 years old. I think he probably removed most of the thing that he had in the past. But yeah. Yeah, that's new vid. That's not, hasn't been just for 2 years. That's not an option. Nope. Nope. Nonetheless, vid is good. That's what I'm saying. Vid is really good and helps a lot. Kind of helped me as well in the beginning. Yes, Larkham, same question. Why lost? He wants me to end streams. God damn it. Technically, it almost works. Almost worked. I wanted to have some ass. I missed it. I missed the option. Missed the option. Was so close. Was so close. But yeah. Yeah, and I think if you go through that, and that's weird, and go through the explanation of why you're doing it, how you're doing it, passion behind it, would be good. I don't think we have enough ass. Never had. BBL time. Apparently I'm gonna get taxed more from the UK. It's kind of sad. Yeah. Never. Oh. Slides. Yes. Talking about slides, I kind of need to chime in. Tome, which is one of the good apps that I do like a lot. Tome is an AI generation. PowerPoints? Presentation thing. I'm really sad they are sunsetting the app in April 30th. So um, if you want to build something and automate something, do it today because the app is going to get out. I don't know if you can register. Maybe they haven't officially released a statement for everyone other than the dual users to say that whatever. But Tom is really good to generate and create like a engaging storytelling way of presenting and having like a very good presentation. Use it and use the AI tokens or the free AI tokens for the outline and the content potentials of what you want to have in your slide. It will give you slide presentations like slide titles, slide contents, whatever. But this is more for an entertaining storytelling reading experience. If you want to, that's not the right thing. If you want to use slides, as in slides, Pitch is my secondary best PowerPoint edition. It is really good. I like it a lot. I build a tool that is really similar. Works. And it's a nice interface. They do have something that I like a lot, which is this section. You need a template for something. Let's say you're looking for startup templates because it's not an ad, but it's still an ad. Look at their templates. Take something that seems interesting to you. Maybe you like this one. Take a look at their slides. And you see this is set up a very specific way. This is set up a very specific way as well. As you can tell, there's not much content in the slides themselves. Most of the slides are going to be supporting content. I say many times, and I have said that in the past, Denny heard me say that before. A slide or presentation is supporting content and shouldn't be distracting content. This, too much text already. That chart, good. That title, good. That text, too much. If while you're talking, the viewers and the people in the audience are looking at the slide and trying to read something, they are not listening to you. So you want the attention to be on you at all times. And therefore, your slide should be very simple. Potentially with transitions. Potentially this is like 3 slides in a row, as in you go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 in 3 different clicks while you are talking. There is a bit of an animation, but that's it. It is supporting content, not presenting content. So, you know, that's the main recommendation. And avoid visuals that are bit like this. Because that basically means either you are saying this out loud, or this is additional data that the users and the viewers are going to need to focus on to ensure that in the next step they understand what you're talking about. You lost them halfway, and there is like 30 seconds to 15 seconds of thing that you have said that they have lost. So that's the thing. Nonetheless, this is one of the templates. There's plenty. Plenty. Like almost way too much templates. You know. So And most of the things, most of the templates and the things you will see, most of it pretty much empty. And then for presenting or like knowledge based, you will have like more value proposition and detailed content. But yeah, um, that that's the thing. But yeah, take a look at Pitch. Pitch is good. We like them. We like them. I don't have a discount for them, sadly. I should. So yeah, Pitch is good. So remember, slides are there for supporting what you're saying and not for bringing data. Saying is supposed to be good enough. Are you supposed to print them, Larkham? Like that mustache hair is itchy. I mean, you are not printing them. You need to send them to the printer. So basically, do that. Like, just get an email and write the email and just say, we need this printed in that amount of like that amount. And that's it. And you send that. And then you wait. And then you receive the printed things once you paid. Yeah. Well, that's a different issue. That is a different issue. And then, Ian, you said that you have too much info that needs to be conveyed. That's going to be your words. Your words. Yeah. And take the time you need. Let me read back, chat. And you said that you are struggling with the layout for some reason. Layout is going to be simple. I mean, depends on the content, as always, but it's roughly going to be the same. The reading chat 1 second. My brain is so slow. My brain is so slow. So, layout for your wedding invitations, wedding cards, wedding whatever. Inspiration is going to give you the answers for everything. If you are looking for something that is centered aligned, you will have all of these most of the time, right? Regular, very simple. You will have most of these reversed on the right side rather than on the left. Thing that happens often. And then have a good bedtime. And then if you want something that is a bit more creative and cursive, you can have shit like this. If this is the RSVP cards of like what is your answers? Do you need a +1? Do you accept the invitation? Whatever. If that's the type of card that you have done, then it needs to be something that can be sent back So that is something to think about. The RSVP could be like an email or text, you know, that is a thing. It would be better if it was a card, but yeah. After that, when I'm looking at things here as presentation and templates and other things, most of them are centered, vertical, content in the middle of the fucking page. Bitch, team, you could get the fuck out. Like, you know, this is really cool though. This one is nice. It's not a winning invitation. It's really nice. I'm gonna save that. Goddamn. For later. You know. I mean, it will be in a while though. We have like 940 fucks to go to 39. But you know, it's gonna be a while. 900 is probably a year. There's me being live for 4 years with a counter on 2 of these years. Yes. I don't think 900 is going to happen very soon. I think by the end of the year, yes, but not that soon. But yeah, also send me a fucking pictures or something. You know, that I can see how it looks, how it's currently set up. Like that, I need to know. I need to see. I need to make sure. That's some ass. Sorry, I saw some ass. It happens. Send me a thing on Discord. I'm not. God damn. These young people. You kept the illustration, right? You kept the illustration on the front and you are working on the font on the back. You kind of need to have like something that is reminiscent of the illustration. I'm thinking some shit like this is going to be pretty good. Like if you kept the arch illustration in the front, god damn, these sponsors posts are annoying. Like this is really cool. It's simple, you know, it works. Oh, that's a nice way. Sorry, my brain went into a composition. That's pretty cool. If I needed to do that, I might. If someone wants like weddings stuff. Don't. But you know, that's cute. Like 10/28/2023. That is really cute. It's also very expensive based on the fact that this is a pressed embossed print. That is crazy. But it's really cool. Really cool concept. Also like the texture and all that. Works. Could have gone in print rather than there. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. I do think like you may need or have like that kind of shape based on the fact that the illustration could be interesting to have and keep. Do you have the printer in mind, because that's also something that you need to take into consideration. Like if the printer that you want to have doesn't do the thing that you want to do, that's the thing. Also, printers might not have necessarily the bandwidth for your project. I don't know how many you want to print. I don't think there is like 1,000 print. So that's gonna limit your reach, I'd say. Like if they don't have the bandwidth right now, maybe it needs to receive the thing right now as a, we need that amount printed. When are you free? When can that happen? And you need to send an email today, and then you need to send them the layout as soon as you can, so that you know. Um, yeah, that's pretty good. But also details. Nonetheless, I do. That's the wrong button. I do feel like these, if you keep the illustration, curved pills things are going to be pretty useful and pretty interesting to have in the layout in the background if that's what you're looking for. The arch is obviously a good idea. You know, it makes a lot of sense. But you might not have the ability to print and cut, probably. So, because that's not going to be an option, I'd print something more simple, more classical, but still have the design. You can have this, for example, you could have a square element, but with the illustration that gives you the arch. Pretty cool, you know. This is really nice. I just, God, that's a fucking Instagram. Like, look at it. That's your initial thing. That's the details. That's the thing that people will potentially like save and keep. But potentially behind this is the RSVP that says, are you coming? How many people are coming? That's very kinky. You know, and that can go back in the mail. That could be the RSVP. Uh, yeah. They seems to have like a bit of a theme, from what I can tell. Most of the video are exactly the same thing, and they are a combination of multiple layers. You know, pretty cool thing. Pretty cool thing. You mean shared via iCloud? No, that's not a link I can click on. Fucking send me something else. Send me like a, I don't know, a Google Drive or something. Send me a screenshot. You know, do something. I mean, a Figma file would be good. Yes, 100%. But I don't think this is a Figma file. I think this is like a illustrative file or something. A screenshot. Send me an image. I'm not gonna. log in somewhere. You know, Discord. Discord is there. That's all I'm saying. Send me an image on Discord. Otherwise, I'm not seeing. I'm not looking at it. Yeah, I mean, just sorry. Um, someone just I was looking for something. Um, I don't care. You're looking for illustration and layout. The quality means nothing. This is cute. This is basically what I said. Um, this one might be, Tony. This one might be a resizable map thingy. So that's interesting. I might need to take a hit at Alex to check how they did it, if they did it, if it's a design only. But yeah, that's interesting. Also, I'm seeing some potential that's good. That's gonna break. Don't you think? Yeah, that's cool. Cool concept. How's the screen? Where's the screenshot? I don't see screenshot. It's the easiest way is a DM. You know. It's a share folder. I can't access this thing. Oh, there's a share folder. I can't open it. If I double tap on it, I can't get in. Screenshot. That is what we need. You know, like that. And now I have a screenshot. You know. I mean the live day is nice, but I feel like I would just have had to wait, like deployment, whatever, you know, it makes more sense than anything else. I can't see the thing. Like I'm still not accessible. Not accessible. Stop trying to use iCloud. That's it. Send me a DM on Discord. That's the only thing. Go there and you send me a screenshot. Which basically, by the way, is probably going to happen. We are going to move on from having links in chat, and we're going to have requests for reviews in the Discord. So if you have something that you want me to take a look at, it's going to happen in a specific dedicated channels on Discord at some point. So, you know, something that is easy to access. Yes, we can. Which one do you want? App.dev, dev.dev, dev.app? zoomed out version. God damn, that is a massive header. Why are you looking into it? There. There. That. That. God damn. Ah. You remove view and view.dev. I see. I can remove them from my history. That person is not gonna get a review. You basically have 5 minutes. And then I'm out. So you decide how long you want to take to get a feedback on something. That's on you. Did you do the thing, Tony? No. I see. Interesting. The buttons are in the center, but not the titles. And then dang, who? Not there. Interesting. He doesn't want reviews. Asking for review, but he doesn't want review. That's what's happening. Yeah. God damn it. That's a download file. Hakim, what did I say? You sent me a screenshot on Discord. It's, I don't get it. I don't get it. No. I got mail. Look at it. I got mail. That was fast. And now I can take a look. This is kind of shit, though. That. Kind of shit. Specifically the red. I mean, I get it. You're getting the red from the main title. It makes sense, whatever. I know why. Yeah. I don't know what we could do. You would be logged in if you just didn't try to not send anything. You know. Like, you're right here. It's not that complex. But yeah, that. I don't know what it is about that section. No. I'm not logged in on iCloud. on Arc. No. And it's downloading a thing. I'm not downloading a thing while I'm streaming. Unless I know exactly what it is. It's not something I can do right now. So, yeah. Nonetheless, it doesn't really matter. I don't know. I see that not it just went live, but also just went live. So that's not really, you know. John do be live though. Good thing. And that is live. That is coding. Do you believe that? That's crazy. That is crazy. I'm gonna send you to 30. It's gonna be much faster. Much faster. As always. Thanks a lot for being here. Appreciate it. The VOD is gonna be on YouTube. If you have a question or not live, you can join the Discord. That would be highly appreciated. And you know, it's faster than anything else. And then you can stalk me on socials, or you can come back here on Friday at 6:30. And yeah, I'll see you then. As always, take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your day. Eat something, drink something, be kind to each other, the usual. And I'll see you on Fridays. Log him. Send me a screenshot. Or send a screenshot in the help category of Discord, you know. It's just that easy. That easy. Who won? Sony won? Oh no. Sony and stream admin. Impressive increase. Good job. Good job. Anyways, bye.